or miss. Here we go. All right. Now, the whole point of hit or miss is for you guys to interact with me through this podcast. And I want you to tell me if the topic is a hit, over the fence, World Series kind of stuff, or if it's a big, fat, goose egg, strike three, you're out miss. Here we go. I want to hear from you. There's no agenda here. This is just fun. This is just opinion. Let's get back to the humankind where we could have polite discourse and disagree politely and discuss the exchanging of ideas, okay? Here we go. All right, hit or miss. News just broke in Hollywood about Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis' custody case and legal battle. And boy, do I have some opinions about this, but here we go. Apparently, even though they are sharing joint custody, Jason Sudeikis will have to pay Olivia Wilde $27,000 a month for child support for their two kids, their son Otis and their daughter Daisy. Is this a hit or a miss for society? I say big, fat, goose egg, strike three, you missed, out. Out, 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 huge miss, okay? First of all, if you have joint custody, why is anybody paying child support, okay? Olivia Wilde, why do you need $27,000 a month? Like, let's be realistic. How much of that is actually going towards the kids versus holding up your lifestyle so that maybe you don't have to work if you don't want to, and then some other guy gets to come in and enjoy and be a benefactor to Jason Sudeikis' hard-earned success with things like, you know, Ted Lasso and everything else that he is involved with. Like, $27,000 seems like legal extortion. Like, who was that judge? Like, what were they thinking? You know, first of all, if he does, like, how there are some people that don't even make $27,000 a year before taxes. Not even just after taxes, but before taxes. This is a big fat miss in my opinion. Like, they have joint custody, which means split in half, equal. So if he has to pay $27,000 to her, like, what is she paying to him? Apparently nothing. She just gets to have $27,000 a month for two kids. What? I think this is so indicative of who you choose as a partner matters, okay? Somebody's pretty face is not what's raising your children, okay? Their attitude, their mindset, their beliefs, their moral values, their integrity, and their willingness to live and prosper and improve, and their overall attitude as a human being is what's going to raise your kid, not their pretty faces. I think this is a huge miss for men and women, in my opinion. But what do you think? Hit or miss? I mean, if you're Olivia Wilde, that's a huge hit. You know, I mean, like, money grab. But honestly, $27K a month. What? All right, there is a video. Now, obviously, it's not real. It's fake. It's like AI or whatever. But there's this crazy video of Alex Jones crashing a World Economic Forum, a WEF meeting for global elites who basically want to control the world. And it was hilarious. He turned around in the video. Now, again, this is AI. This is fake. It didn't really happen, but it would be so crazy if it did. And who knows in this day and age, right? But apparently, quote, one part of the video said, quote, "F you and your new world order." Is this a hit or a miss? I want to hear from you. I say this is a huge hit. This is a swing for the fence, bottom of the ninth, World Series kind of hit. Coming in clutch for your team and clinching the win is, in my opinion. Go on Instagram, go on YouTube and find it, and you will have yourself a laugh, and you're going to be wishing that was actually real. Yeah, so many people were disappointed when they found out that it was not. All right, on the other kind of cringe is a tweet from the President of the United States. So is this a hit or a miss? Now, this isn't a political conversation, guys. Just I'm going to give a quick disclaimer. I don't care, you know, if you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican. I've already made it very clear that I am neither. I am more independent libertarian. So I don't really care, you know, how you've registered to vote. I just think stuff like this is funny because it seems very tone deaf. So let's dive right on in. After all, this is not a political podcast, so don't get panties in a twist. Here we go. President Joe Biden recently tweeted, and it was a bit cringe. He talked about his administration's efforts to combat the alarming amount of junk fees people are paying for concert tickets. Here is what the tweet said. Quote, concert tickets are hard enough to get. You shouldn't have to pay surprise service fees on top of that. My administration is working to crack down on those junk fees so you know what you are paying for up front. End quote. Now, this was a tweet recently from the President of the United States. And I have to say this is a big fat miss, but I would love to hear from you. We can have polite discourse about this all day long. Is this a hit for you or a miss? Like, obviously, yeah, there are so many hidden fees with so many things now, whether you're doing, you know, things like DoorDash or other delivery services, the streaming apps that you're using now for, you know, watching movies and TV shows or video games or concert tickets, you know. Unfortunately, the cost of inflation is astronomical, and most people aren't taught in school is what inflation actually does to you and your money. But for me, this was so tone deaf. This was a big fat miss, because with everything going on in the world right now, like getting offered $700 if you're, you know, a citizen of Maui and who's lost everything, or the fact that rent these days is costing the average American over half of their income, depending on where they live in the United States. The fact that groceries have tripled, the fact that people can barely afford to put gas in their car to go to the jobs that they need just to have most of their money taxed away from them with inflation. I think those things are a little bit more important than the price of concert tickets. So to me, when I read this, I thought to myself, this reminds me of supposedly Marie Antoinette saying, "Let them eat cake." Like, that's what this reads to me. But I want to hear from you. Is this a big fat hit in the bottom of the ninth in the World Series, or is this a big fat goose egg swing and a miss, strike three, you're out? I want to hear from you.